Okay, let's take a look at solving rational equations. All right, so these will be the steps. There are two methods of doing it. I'll show you one. I'll show you both, but then I'll stick to one. Okay, so here's the first method, is not actually reading the notes. It's just getting rid of fractions. So how do I get rid of fractions? Pick the largest denominator, in this case 7, and multiply everything by 7. All right, what's going to happen when you do that? You're going to see that the 7's cross out. So that 7 crosses out with that 7. That 7 crosses out with that 7. So what do I have left? I have negative 1 plus 7 times 1, which is 7, over 2b equals, and just 1. I still have a fraction, so I need to get rid of it. So multiply everything by that denominator, which is times 2. You're going to see that those 2's cross out. So what do I have? 2 times negative 1 plus those 2's crossed out, so leaving 7b, 1 times 2. And now we have a two-step equation. So what do? I'm going to take negative 2 to the other side. All right, every time you cross the equal sign, it changes. So it's negative, it's going to change to positive. So I'm going to have 7b is equal to 4. Divide both sides by 7. So that's going to be method 1. So method 1 is get rid of fractions. Start with the largest denominator, and if that doesn't get rid of all of them, do it again. Okay, so method 1, get rid of fractions. And this works for expressions as well. Method 2 is really what I'm going to stick to, which is follow the notes on the left. Okay, so method 2 is follow the notes on your left. All right, so what do those notes say? Put parentheses around addition and subtraction. Can you factor the denominator? We don't need any of that. Make all the denominators the same. If you change the bottom, change the top. So I need all the denominators look exactly the same. So what I'm doing is just writing it out with some space. All right, because you're going to see I'm going to need that space. I'm writing the question out with some space. I want all of them to look the same. Right now I have a 6, 11, and a 2. So I need a 2 and 11 on the first one. But if I change the bottom, I change the top. All right, this one I need a 2 and a 6. So if I change the bottom, I change the top. Here I need 6 and 11. If I change the bottom, I change the top. Now, once the denominators are the same, you're going to go ahead and distribute, but because this is not expressions, you're just multiplying it out. Negative 5 times 2 times 11 is going to give you negative 110. This is a listening check. It's negative 108z, negative 108z. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we have a two-step equation. So we're going to take negative 108z to the other side. What's going to happen? The negative is going to become a positive. We're going to take negative 110 to the other side. The negative is going to become a positive. And again, it's 108z. So we're going to have 108z is equal to, and combining 66 plus 110, you're going to get 176. Divide both sides by 108. So you're going to get z is equal to 44 over 27 simplified. Okay. All right, so two methods. I'm sticking to method 2. So I wanted to show you with numbers first because you guys are used to numbers. Let's look at what do I do if they're expressions. So again, put parentheses around the expression. Can you factor denominator? No. Let's make all the denominators the same. So it needs x minus 8 on all of them. If I change the bottom, change the top. X minus 8 on the bottom, x minus 8 on the top. All right, then go ahead and distribute. So 1 times x is x. 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. Minus 3x equals x times x is x squared. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. You're going to ignore the denominator, okay, and then always simplify. So let's take everything to the right-hand side. So we're going to start off with negative 8. Remember, it crosses the equal sign. It becomes positive. All right, that's gone. We're going to do x minus 3x, which is negative 2x. And I'm just writing it out. Take the negative 2x to the right-hand side. Again, negative crosses becomes positive. And now simplify that. I'm going to get x squared minus 6x plus 8. So let's go ahead and factor that. So 1 times 8 is going to be 8. So multiplies to 8 and adds to negative 6. Two numbers are going to be 4 and 2. And I need both of them to be negative. So negative 4 times negative 2 is 8. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. All right, divide by 1. And so they stay the same. So this is going to be x minus 4, x minus 2 equals 0. Therefore, x is equal to 4 and 2. All right, now the thing about rational functions, unlike numbers, is you have to check for extraneous solutions. All right, so you have to check it. What that means is you plug them back into the original equation. Where you see an x, you're just going to put parentheses. So 1 minus 3, I see an x, parentheses. And then I'm going to put in the one solution I got, which is 4. I see another x, so 4 minus 8 equals the other side, which is, again, 4. Okay, then go ahead and put that in the calculator. You're going to get 4 is equal to 4. That's true. So x equals 4 is a solution. Now we're going to check 2. So again, you're just plugging in 2 where you see x. All right, put that in the calculator. You're going to get negative 2 is equal to 2. That's not true. So 2 is not a solution. The only solution is x equals 4. It's called an extraneous solution. All right, so let's do another example because this is going to take you like a while to figure it out. Again, remember, put parentheses around it. Then we're going to go ahead and factor out the denominator. So what can I take out? An x, leaving x plus 1. So this is not there. So I'm coloring it in pink so that you can see it's not there. All right, let's make the denominators the same. What am I missing? I'm missing an x on the first one. If I change the bottom, I change the top. And then on the second one, I'm missing an x and an x plus 1. So I need an x, change the bottom, change the top. And I need x plus 1, change the bottom, change the top. All right, once I have that, we're going to ignore it, right? And distribute. So we're going to get x squared. And then here we're going to get plus 6x squared plus 6x equals just the 1. And we're going to completely ignore the denominator. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this. That's going to be 7x squared plus 6x. Bring the 1 to the other side, minus 1. All right, draw my x game. Multiplies to 7 times negative 1, which is negative 7, adds to 6. Two numbers are going to be 7 times 1. And I need to subtract 1 in order to make it 6. So 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. That works. Divide by a, which is 7. That simplifies to 1 and negative 1/7. All right, so the way I write that is 7x minus 1. So this gives me two solutions. X equals negative 1 and x equals positive 1 over 7. So again, we have to check for extraneous solutions. If you put that in as an answer, you'll get it wrong. All right, so all again we're doing is plug in where we see x, the first solution, where we see x, the second solution. So let's go ahead and start. And in fact, with this one, I'm just going to show you in the calculator. All right, so I'm going to make the exact equation. That's the left side. And then this is the right side. Where I see x, I'm just putting parentheses. Now I'm going to plug in, let me check negative 1. And you can see it says undefined. So that's not going to work. What about 1 over 7? You can see that they're exactly the same, left and right. So x minus 1 is not a solution. X equals 1 over 7 is a solution because it gives me 6.125 on the left and on the right. Okay, so don't forget to check. That's an important step, but you can just put that in a calculator. All right, let's again look at another example. So again, parentheses. Can we factor the denominator? Yes, we can. So draw x game, multiplies negative 45, adds to negative 4. What are those numbers? 5 and 9. And I need the 9 to be negative. So 5 times negative 9, 5 minus 9. That works. Divide by a, which is 1, doesn't change anything. All right, so I'm just going to write it out with some space in order for me to come and make the denominators the same. That I'm going to change to x plus 5 and x minus 9. And the top looks like it's a 2x. Okay, so let's make the denominators the same. All right, so I already have x plus 5, so I need x minus 9 on the first one. If I change the bottom, change the top. On that one, I have x minus 9. I need x plus 5. Change the bottom, change the top. And on that one, I don't need to change anything. So ignore the denominator. Let's distribute the numerators. That's going to be 3x. 3 times negative 9 plus x times x times 5 equals 2x. And we're going to ignore the denominator completely. All right, let's go ahead and simplify this. So we have x squared, and then we have 3x plus 5x minus 2x. That's going to give us 6x minus the 27. All right, factoring this out, multiplies to negative 27, adds to 6. Two numbers are going to be 9 and 3. And I need the 3 to be negative for it to work. Yep, that's it. So it's going to be x plus 9 and x minus 3 equals 0. So that means x is equal to negative 9, comma, positive 3. All right, so always check for extraneous solutions. All you got to do is plug it in. So you can just use a calculator. Anywhere you see x in the original equation, you're going to put parentheses. So in fact, let me write this out. 3 over, I see x, so parentheses, blank. I don't know why I wrote an x. And then plus 5 plus parentheses over parentheses minus 9 equals 2 parentheses over parentheses squared minus 4 parentheses minus 45. Go ahead and write that in because I forgot to write it on mine. Okay, and then just put in that in the calculator, just as what we wrote down. We're going to substitute the two answers we got, so negative 9 and 3. So everywhere there's a parentheses, I'm going to put negative 9 to check. And if the left is equal to the right, then it's a solution, and it is. So negative 9 is a solution. I'm going to go change and check 3. And that is also a solution, negative 0.125. So this one, both of those are solutions. Now, let's take a look at a last example. And again, they can look complicated, but they're all the same thing. Put parentheses. We need to make the denominators the same, but this one looks a little weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out, so I'm going to write it out with space, and then I'm going to factor out a negative so I can make x first. So that negative is going to make that a positive, leaving x minus 9. And again, if you think about putting a negative in, it'll be negative x and then plus 9. Okay, so that's why I did that. All right, then I have x minus 9. So now they all look the same. All right, again, make the denominators the same. So I need an x minus 9. If I do it at the bottom, do it at the top. There I need an x minus 3. Do it at the bottom, do it at the top. There I need an x minus 3. Do it at the bottom, do it at the top. All right, now you can ignore the denominator and distribute. So we've got x times x, x squared. 3x minus 9x is minus 6x. And then 3 times negative 9. Plus x squared, x times negative 3 equals x times x times negative 3. And ignore the denominators. So we're going to move the x to the other side. It's going to be minus x squared. Move that to the other side. It's going to be plus 3x. And we're going to combine everything and put x squared first. So x squared, those are going to cancel. So we're going to put that x squared first. Now let's combine all of these. So 3x minus 3x is going to be 0, leaving the minus 6x. And then you just have the minus 27. All right, so let's go ahead and factor that. So two numbers that multiply to negative 27, add to negative 6. Those are going to be 9 and 3, and I need the 9 to be negative. And just make sure it works. All right, there's nothing to divide by, so that answer is x minus 9, x plus 3 equals 0, which means x is equal to 9 and x is equal to negative 3. Check to see if those are solutions, that there are no extraneous solutions. All right, so again, everywhere I see x, I'm putting parentheses. All right, so I see an x on the top, parentheses. I see an x on the bottom, parentheses. Parentheses over, parentheses minus 9. And take that whole thing and you're going to put it in the calculator, and inside your parentheses, you're going to check 9. And then you're going to check negative 3. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you what that looks like in the calculator. So again, just typing out what we've already typed out. So that's the left side. And then on the new line, the right side. And now I'm checking 9. So it says undefined, so that means 9 is not a solution. Now I'm going to type in negative 3. If left and right are the same, which they are, 0.25, it's the same. That means x minus 3 is the solution. Okay, so always be sure to check for extraneous solutions. Let's practice.